Welcome back to the Global Business Report here on Arise News. So we continue the conversation now with respect to inflation and also energy, but inflation figures coming in at 15.15% for December headline, that's year on year, 14.45, month on month 0.5, food inflation 10.8, core 18.6. It's a good thing that we had Chika Mbonu to preview this when the NBS said there could have been a spike. So we're happy to have him again to go over his reaction to these figures. And then also we continue the energy conversation and discuss the rising adoption of solar panels in Nigeria. So Chika Mbonu is with us. My Oga, you're welcome, sir. Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy Friday.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank God it's one.
Thank God it's Friday, yes indeed. So I guess I'm happy that we had the conversation with you about inflation before the figures came out. What is your reaction? 15.15% from 15.15% in December from 14.45 in November.
Otis, I mean, it's interesting that remember when we talked about this initially?
Yes.
We said everything is mathematics,
right?
That the MBS is battling with the mathematics, seemingly to make sure that the sentiment,
yes,
that inflation is coming down, continues. Now, for real, at least so that the figure will continue, because it's very, very important to a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
The political side is very important. To our investors, it's very important. And so on and so on. So the inflation figure is very important. And getting it right is very important. And so the first thing that we talk about is the irony in the calculations.
Yes.
Because you notice that one of the things we're going to talk about, and Nigerians talk about, is, okay, we're happy. People are celebrating this fantastic inflation figure results.
Yes.
That is coming down consistently. But we're not also celebrating, yet. Because it's not reflecting the streets the prices,
Yeah.
And for me, as an intro, I would just say that for MBS, we must consistently trust the figures they bring out.
Yes.
And we should never think that they're working to the answer under any pressure, under any condition. And because once we lose that trust in them, every other figure they bring out becomes fundamentally flawed and people don't believe in it. But I guess they got it right, because even people like IMF have endorsed
the numbers.
The numbers, and so I'm happy for them. We have to believe the figures.
Yeah.
And the political side also will continue to celebrate. But let me indicate our viewers, as I've always said, and talked about in the forum yesterday that I was in. I said, okay, the figures are coming down does not mean that inflation is, annulled or don't exist.
Yeah.
It says now that the rate of increase in prices is actually reduced. It's no longer like that, steep. That's now reduced, and that's that. So that's how you're going to look at figures when they are falling. Now, but why are food prices still hot despite all the talk?
Yeah.
Because as you talked about, the headline inflation in Nigeria is actually largely driven by food inflation.
By food, correct. Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to talk about a little. And one of the first things I thought about that day is the funny thing is that I did my WAEC Western School certificate several donkey years ago, and I did agriculture. That's one of the subjects there.
Oh yeah.
I could see past the WAEC this today, because one of the questions always will be, what are the problems of agriculture in Nigeria?
Right.
And so if you ask that question 30, 40 years,
still the same
thing. One of the major one is that I talked about last time is the post-harvest losses. Post-harvest losses, the logistics and post-harvest losses. That at the farm gates, the harvest can be plenty, but the foods have to move from the farm gates to the markets. You can grow yam, but if you cannot move the yam, Nigerians will not eat cheap yams.
Right.
You can grow tomatoes, but if you don't move to tomatoes, Nigeria cannot profit from that.
Yeah.
So the issue of post-harvest losses, depending on where you read, we are told that a lot of times it's up to something like 50%. Some people say 40% of what we harvest in the farm gates don't get to the markets because of those losses. And of course, if you have cold storage, if you have ordinary storage, these things will help. If you have good transportation, the other issue we have here is the energy and transportation costs. Remember, everybody using diesel, using generators to process things. Food travels long distances. And these long distances are by trucks. And these trucks use diesel.
That's right. And
these things cost money. And so by the time they land also, and then on bad roads also is a problem. Then the other issue, which is security issues. Farmers plant in fear.
Yeah.
We know that already. And some harvest early to avoid attacks. And because they harvest early, the yields are lower. And that becomes a problem. Now, the economics will tell you, therefore, that inflation fight in Nigeria is not just monetary.
It's fiscal as well.
It's more structural now. It's more structural, It's more structural. And that's what the problem we have. Because the central bank will commend them because they have fought this inflation. It was almost running away. And with all the tools they've had, they fought inflation and brought it down to the level that we have.
Yes.
But you see, Rotus, if monetary interest rates don't fix roads.
That's right.
Are you following me? Interest rates don't fix roads. Monetary tightening does not stop banditry. Are you with me, Rotus?
I'm with you.
And then police rates don't build cold storage.
Right.
So there are things that the fiscal side, must do to support central bank in this sense, in that way, because you keep reducing interest rate, keep doing this, it will not change anything. Most of the problems we have now about the food inflation are actually structural.
Right.
And I thought I should put it out there, among other things that we have had. And that's why we celebrated the 1 year, the 2025 become the year that we didn't have the tomato scarcity.
Right.
Because of some initiatives that took place. And that helped to that. And I believe that Nigeria can do more of that, and that. So the food inflation can be that. So we said NBS, I mean, they were worried about the figures, but I think it didn't come as badly. We thought the thing would be in the maybe 50s or 60s, but they managed it down. But let it not be calculation. I keep saying that let the streets feel the impact of the figures coming down. And that's when we know that these things are really working, trickling down as we expect them to be. You touched on energy a moment ago. What do you make of the solar panel adoption in Nigeria? See, what's your thoughts? Nigeria, I mean, you can't contest this. Nigeria is in Africa, who are the poorest nation in energy. The energy poorest nation in Africa, for example. Depending on what again you look at, statistics you look at, we'll do about maybe 40% or 50% of people don't have reliable power. So you need to have go to some of these villages like this during this Christmas period. You'll find literally in some villages by 6 p.m. everybody's indoors. That's no light. It's dark. Everything's dark. So the coming on stream of this solar initiatives is very commendable. So you have farmers now who farm during the day and can do businesses in night. Shops can open more, restaurants can open more, and businesses can grow more. Unlike before, when by 6 p.m., and even issue of security. That's right. Issue of health also, and when people wrote this is funny. When people don't have anything to do by 6 p.m., we talk about Nigerian population increasing every day. The only thing they can do is just go and continue to breed children. And you'll be surprised if you're worrying about why population is increasing every day. I have a feeling that it has more power. People can have more activities to do. They have lesser time to sleep in the night, and then there's more focus. So Nigerians are bypassing the national grid. That's one thing that's happening from this now. And so the national grid now is becoming the alternative power. Whereas individuals now and communities are not having that. And it's very, very celebratory. And the issue, again, is because of the World Bank loan, $750 million, that has helped. And with the initiative of lighting up, I think, 300 cities in Africa, that has also helped and pushing things. So, off-grid solar companies, solar reduces fuel and pollution. Right. You know what will happen if the solar will work. So power is light. And the solar alternative is happening. Of course, there are some issues. Inception costs can be high. I guess that's why World Bank is coming in to support. Installation costs can be high, deployment costs can be high, but maintenance is easy and cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, but on average, it's all positive and positive and positive because power is power.
It's everything.
Light is everything.
Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu, thank you for taking us through the inflation figures and discussing solar energy adoption in Nigeria. Appreciate it and wish you a happy weekend.
Thank you, you too.